Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, amazing, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about enthusiasm and a will to live and seeing beauty. Well, anything that might stir your soul to positivity and optimism, truly. Because when you are in a certain state of, positivity and hope, you are receptive. You open your whole being up to inspiration, imagination, and intuition. And of course, it requires to have a certain feeling of reverence. Because, that is what the higher beings are living in: reverence, gratitude, love. And of course, discipline and strength. Of course, I am specifically alluding to Michael, which is kind of the strongest one of them. But I truly appreciate certain beings because they have such a magnanimous and strong foundation, and it is also love at the same time. It is kind of contradictory, but it is not truly, because they belong to each other. Being strong in your endeavors to strengthen your own values, morality, your love, and to not go below the belt, below the threshold. We know that when we do certain actions, we do go below the threshold. And by doing so, we subconsciously, if not consciously, subconsciously feel guilt, because we knew that was not the right thing to do. By being enthusiastic and taking initiative in life, choosing what is right, choosing for yourself what you deem to be morally acceptable, morally for yourself, for your inner being accepted by the higher beings. So when you can sit still by yourself, not feeling guilty and not feeling, constant poking, this on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then you are being accepted in the moment. My constant endeavor is to truly be accepted by the higher beings, having them nod in validation, so that I know that the practices I do, the strengthening of enthusiasm and of the areas of life I study and practice, is of the right kind, so that I can share it with others. By being an example, we will have every kind of people. We will have people that, why is he not doing like we are doing? What is he doing? Why is he going his own path? Why is he not conforming, and so on? But we are meant to become individual. We are meant to choose a path that you can have enthusiasm for, that you chose that, both given, of course, from the higher realms, and you chose it. You cultivate what you yourself need and should cultivate to become a stronger, morally loving, caring, uplifting human being. Your thinking, feeling, and willing, your astral body, your physical body, your etheric body, your life formative forces, your astral body, your longings, desires, sorrows, pleasures, pains, and your ego, the center, the unifier of all of these. By awakening to perceiving all of the spiritual faculties of man, also seeing where they reflect in the physical world. For example, our etheric body is reflected in the glandular system and in our fluidic body. And then we have and in the earthly, in general, the etheric also has to do with thinking. It is the life body. It first and foremost is the structure of our body. Second of all, it is the influx of life that counteracts the death-dealing forces. and it is reflected in the glandular system. I'm pretty sure that was the the astral body is reflected in our lymph and our nervous system. And the astral body is more of the individual kind. When we talk about the astral body is more of the individual human being. We do have the astral of the whole of mankind too, but it is important to also know your own astral being. Your longings, your desires, your aspirations, your goals, your dreams, your pains, your sufferings, and also your upliftments and healings and so on. That is more of the individual, subjective realm. You have the etheric realm is, well, you are born in a country, you have a certain culture and a certain inheritance of physical body to you. That is the etheric, and it is shared with your whole people. And then we have the ego also. Our ego is reflected in the blood. And, of course, in our heart. Obviously, because the heart pumps the blood around. The warmth that comes from the blood, the heat, also heat is reflected by the ego. Which also is, when you fall asleep, your ego and astral body is outside, right outside of your body. That is why you don't use your senses when you sleep. You don't, in general, use any of your bodily functions when you sleep. Something is keeping it alive while you are outside of it, more or less. And since your ego is outside of your body, you wake up pretty cold. Because when you wake up, you again come down into the body, heating yourself up with the blood. Now I'm just showing you my enthusiasm for things, for truly getting to know what a human being is, how we can affect and master and train our own being to be able to use our whole being and every faculty to our not advantage, because it sounds like we misuse it. We use it for good. We direct it towards something loving, caring, nurturing, and moral. It really is about holding that foundation. Do we wish to excuse our own shortcomings? Do we seriously wish to say because of this and that I am behaving like that? Or do you wish to master yourself so you don't behave like that anymore? Obviously, we register, change, and do better. That is just how it works. And if we neglect that stage, of course, we will never go anywhere, because we do not get automatic influxes of growth anymore. We have to grab a hold of the growth and choose to study, choose to do practices and actions, choose to awaken in growth, in development. It is not given to us anymore. We have to accept it in freedom and receptivity. And that is where enthusiasm and joy and a will to live comes in, because you are receptive then. There's alright, what is it now? What are we going to do now? What do life have to offer now? And you already feel, right? It is uplifting. It is a good example. It is about staying strong in your own inner being and still not become, well, narcissistic, egotistical, and isolated within your own bubble without any opportunity or any ability to expand that bubble to encompass another human being or the world, being able to see things from different perspectives and directions, from different eyes, and also in understanding and empathy, compassion. These are traits that I personally look up to more than anything. And that is why I also follow the higher realms and the higher beings, because I know how they operate. And they have some very good wisdom. And they have faculties we do not have, that they share with us if we wish to cultivate these faculties. We have to cultivate our future faculties through higher beings. They are not reflected in the physical realm as I have explained the other faculties we have. They are still astral. They are still material. No, sorry, they are still spiritual. So we are forming astral organs. So in the future, these organs will become physical for every human being. So when I train, practice certain behaviors, certain conducts, I build organs for them, because you are practicing, repeating, and staying strong in certain spiritual foundations that build spiritual organs. That is the future sculpting of man. And it really is about grabbing a hold of that cultivation and having an enthusiasm, joy for life, a certain magnanimous, being fair, being righteous, being just, but also compassion, love, and gentleness. We must temper law and discipline with gentleness and compassion, or else we become something not human. Humans are warm, soulful, understanding, caring beings, true human beings. And the deeper your soul goes, the deeper your understanding is of this world, the deeper your understanding you have for every individual, and every choices and every struggles, strifes, pains, but also love, upliftment, compassion, the warmth, the inclusion, the nodding of, I get you, man, I know, it is a life is, but every day we still keep on going, building the faculties that strengthens our awareness, love, directing our longings and aspirations towards something that is good, strengthening our life force so that we have the will to live when we wake up in the morning. And of course, as I said, awareness for the ego. Your ego becomes aware of these other faculties, so you can master yourself and your instrument of sense and of perception and of love and of beauty and art, communication, posture and structure. Many of these things just, to me, are wonderful. They are spiritual realities that can be grabbed a hold onto and practiced and trained. And the past civilizations has left behind many spiritual heritage, so that we always have some guidelines to follow in the end, so we can follow it towards Philadelphia. I love you all. Thank you so much. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, and the hierarchy, our ancestors and ancient masters of old, may they all bless, protect, guide, and love you on your path to awakening, development, and love. Thank you so much. You wonderful, wonderful human being. Thank you. Love you all. Goodbye.